Good afternoon, boys and girls. I think there have been a few queries after I put on the group that please ask your doubts. That is why I waited for the lecture today. I wanted you to go through the lecture. Believe me, boys and girls, whenever you're doing any topic, any new topic, I think you have done a part of this in class 9th also, as Tanesh was saying. The thing is that I use the right word. It's a bit warmer. Not my tea, the topic. There will be a little chaos in your minds. And if there is no chaos, it means you have not tried to understand it. If you are willing to understand it, there must be a little chaos in your mind. And as I always say, after the chaos comes the clarity. Just a minute, I think मैंने चाय बनाई थी वो पानी उबल गया. Yeah, the kettle was going out of its mind, I'm very absent-minded. Anyway, regarding your queries, I had initially only thought that I will start with something. Let's do some questions today. I will select a few questions from which I gave you yesterday. We finished our topic by saying that slope of the position time graph, actually change in position is distance. Slope of the position time graph represents the velocity of the body. Many students kept on asking speed, velocity, for a particle moving along a straight line without any change in direction. Just think, don't remember it, just think. The distance traveled and the displacement is going to be the same. And obviously, the speed and velocity will also be the same. It will be clear in the question when he asks you about displacement. And that would lead to velocity. On the graph, we will represent it on the lower section. The more questions we do, the more we learn. Filhal, a particle moving along a straight line, distance is the same as displacement, speed is the same as velocity. Now, yesterday what we did was, I'm again going to teach you how to read a graph. It really takes some time. It's a very small topic, but it will really pave the floor, It will really pave the way for what we have to do forward. A graph, a position time graph. X represents position. It does not represent x-axis. Along x-axis we have time. Along y-axis we have position. The position is represented by the symbol x. A graph is simply a representation of a motion of a particle moving along a straight line. If the particle is at rest, the position does not change. It means whatever was the position at t is equal to 0, we have the same position at any time. Velocity time graph for uniform motion. Speed time नहीं बोल सकते, एक ही बात है. Uniform motion means speed remains the same. If the speed remains the same, at t is equal to 0, the particle had a certain speed. It remained the same. And for uniform speed, this is the body at rest. And this is a graph for uniform motion. This is also a graph for uniform motion, an xt graph. Starting from here next. Jay was asking me a question that if the graph starts from here, and he rightly answered it also. I want all students to think. You can't cram physics. You just do a topic and then if you are able to do questions. I just sent you a list of questions. What kind of motion is 1D? What kind of motion is 2D? And all small questions. The more such questions we do, by physics we mean numerical problems and conceptual questioning. It is very rare that somebody is going to ask you things directly. Nobody's going to ask you, show that the area under the graph represent the distance. We have done it, and it is the application that is going to be asked. This means that at t is equal to 0, the position is 0. That whatever reference you have chosen, the particle is over there only. Right? Let's say, and the slope of the graph. One more thing, even before that. If the graph is a straight diagonal line inclined to the time axis, this means that whatever is represented along the y-axis, in this case position, changes equally in equal intervals of time. Right? So if we have a position here and we have this time, okay, and this is the change in position. This distance is covered in this time. Then if you have the same time interval somewhere else, this is the same time interval. This is also delta t, this is also delta t. This is also delta x, this is also delta x. Equal distances are covered in equal intervals of time. The graph will always be a straight line. And the slope of the graph can be determined by choosing any 2 points. Usually we choose, the slope of the graph is the same here, 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 here. It's a straight line. And the slope of the graph is given by change along y-axis upon change along x-axis. In this case it is delta x by delta t. Let me explain it again. xt graph. It is a graph for 2 particles A and B. What kind of motion does it represent? Both A and B represent uniform motion. This is also, okay, we write it here. A, uniform motion. Uniform motion means uniform speed. You can say uniform velocity also. B also, uniform speed. Which is greater? You can see from the slope. The slope literally means talan. Remember, I again emphasize, students coming into +1 think, sir theory में क्या पूछेंगे? यार कुछ नहीं पूछेंगे, यही कुछ पूछेंगे. Topic करने के बाद we have to know these kind of questions. The more questions you do, the more confident you are in the subject. Slope of B is more than slope of A. It means speed is more. रट्टा भी लगा सकते हो, जिसकी स्लोप ज्यादा है उसकी स्पीड ज्यादा है. पर ऐसा क्यों है? ध्यान से सुनो. At t is equal to 0, both particles are at the same position. इसे भी जरूरी नहीं है. Let's assume it's simpler to understand. ये टाइम आ गया t. After a time t, which particle has covered a greater distance? Let me see. This is the distance covered by A, delta x for A. And this is on the graph at this time for A, this is the position. At the same time, B की position ये है. This means that this is now delta x for B. In the same time, the change in position of B is more. It means the distance traveled by B in the same time is more. It means speed of B is more. You don't need to explain it in this manner all the time. I am just explaining it to you ताकि आपको रट्टा ना लगाना पड़े बेटे. Once you understand this, that why does the slope of the position time graph represent the velocity? I repeat, in the same time, the change in position for A is more than the change in, the change in position of B is more. Slope of B is more, right? Slope of B, it is enough to write. Slope of B is greater than slope of A. Therefore, velocity of B is greater than velocity of A. And slope is given by tangent theta. Let me say this angle is 30 degree and this angle is 60 degree. The ratio of the velocities VB over VA is tangent 60 upon tangent 30. Tangent 60 is root 3 and 30 is 1 by root 3 equal to 3. It means the velocity of B is 3 times the velocity of A. Right? The application part is important, and the more applications you do, you will be able to understand the theory even more. Once you do the conceptual questions and the theory, when you go back to the theory, you will just flip the page. Mujhe aata hai. We will go slow and steady, but we will go for sure. Okay? So this is the graph. We had a very interesting question regarding this. About two children who start from there. I have this question written here with me. Okay, you're seeing me with specs for the first time. Okay, I have to read. He says that we have the position time graph for two particles, right? This is A and this is B. I always make a small PDF file of questions related to the topics that I have done with you. Be sure that you do these questions and do not leave them to the last day before the test. I will always give you a limited amount of work. I will never say do 100 questions. ऐसा नहीं है बेटे, ज़्यादा पढ़ने की ज़रूरत नहीं होती है, रेगुलर पढ़ने की ज़रूरत होती है. ठीक है? Just keep covering up your work of each subject every day. Mathematics or biology would obviously take more time, but remember, physics is going to, the initial part, physics थोड़ी समझने में time लगता है. Devote that time. That is not being wasted. Remember the story? Consistency, hammer. So, but once you have grasped it, then the number of questions that you do will determine that how well you have understood the topic. The more we do, the more we learn. There are two people, A and B, who start from their school. The position time graph for two things is given, and this O is their school, and they have to go home, and you are given here, this is the home for P, and this is the home for Q. Right? There are 5 questions here, and these questions are really going to determine your understanding or are going to clear our understanding. I repeat the question that there are two students A and B who start from their school towards their home. This is B is the home for A and Q is the home for B. Right? The first question he asks is, who lives closer who lives closer, it is very, very clear that A is closer. P is the home of A. At this time, they started at the same. Okay, that's the second question, Which is closer? This is home for P, this is home for Q. Who lives closer to the school? This change in position is less for A than for B. So the first part is that A lives closer to school than B. The second part of the question is that which particle starts earlier? Which particle starts earlier? Now, the particle A starts earlier and the particle B starts a little later. A जो है वो स्कूल से पहले निकल गया अपने घर की तरफ. उसका घर भी पास है और वो पहले भी निकल गया स्कूल से. बी जो है वो सर से थोड़े डाउट पूछ रहा था तो वो थोड़ी देर बाद निकला. वी कैन इंटरप्रेट दिस फ्रॉम द ग्राफ, राइट? ए लीव्स द स्कूल earlier. The third part of the question is that who walks faster? Who walks faster? Both A and B are walking with uniform speed. Both A and B are walking with uniform speed. Why? Because the XT graph is a straight diagonal line inclined to the time axis. Velocity of B, speed बोल रहे हैं एक बार, is greater than the velocity of A. B स्कूल से लेट चलना शुरू हुआ पर चला थोड़ी तेज. कहते हैं who reaches home earlier? It is given to us that both reach their homes at the same time. Both reach home at the same time. Both A and B reach home at the same time. Just think, it is such a beautiful thing. Physics में समझना कुछ और है, करना कुछ और है. समझने के बेसिस पे ये आता है. And in the next part he says, who overtakes whom? Even if B is traveling faster than A, he started later, but does at any time B overtake A? And if it does, how many times? It does only once. Because corresponding to this time, T dash, both have the same position. Remember, A started a little earlier, but slower. B started a little later, but faster. After a time T dash, A overtakes B. Because the position XA and XB are the same at this time. Right? B overtakes A once. This is a beautiful way of reading a graph. We need to learn. आखिरी दिन थोड़ी सीखेंगे कि स्लोप रिप्रेजेंट करती है, ये तो आज सीख लो. Questions, I will go on increasing the level of the question. So today we have really come to know कि why does slope of the velocity time graph represent? Slope of the position time graph represent velocity. Why? बताया मैंने आपको. Change in position ज़्यादा हो जाती है same time में. That is why. But no need to write this. You can simply write in terms of slope. Okay? Now, let me discuss a couple of questions which I feel could be a subject of discussion. There was this question about a drunkard taking 5 steps forward and 3 steps backward. 5 steps forward, 3 steps backward. Each step 1 meter and takes 1 second. ठीक है? How many steps? For a pit 13 meter away. One gets, be sure ये क्वेश्चन अपनी मम्मी से पूछना आज. Have a game. Have a game. Let's see who answers, mom or dad. आज शाम को before you have your meals, be sure to ask your parents. And every day I will give you a couple of questions to ask your parents, and be sure that you are able to explain it to them. He says, how many steps for a pit 13 meter away? ध्यान से सोच ले. 5 forward and 3 backward means 2 meters. Means 2 meters and 8 steps. And 8 steps. He walks 5 meters आगे, 3 meters पीछे, net 2 meter हुआ. After 5 such sets, 5 to 4, okay. After 4 such sets, we have covered 8 meter and taken 32 steps. Right? He does this 4 times. It's very interesting. I told you this topic is very interesting. करेंगे आराम से, हाँ? ठंडा दिमाग. 5 कदम आगे, 3 पीछे. टोटल 2 मीटर. ऐसे उसने 4 बार किया. And overall, from the reference, he has covered 8 meters, and in doing so, he has covered 32 steps. 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3, 5, 3. अब किसकी बारी है? 5. After 8 meters, he will walk 5 meters. Yes, you understood it. He will take 5 steps and fall into the pit. Therefore, total of 37 steps. A very, very good question. It means questions at the +1 level are not really formula based. They are thought based. There is a small catch in the question. And there would be some questions which are really marked NCERT. You do not need to buy the NCERT. All questions would be sent by me or will be covered by me in the class. The NCERT as a book has excellent questions, but the theory that is covered is in a very brief form. We will not be able to grasp it in one reading. What I do with you in the class, in the register, has more than 28 years of experience in it. Be sure that you do your register nicely, and after that you will be able to do your questions. I will cover each and every question of NCERT in the register. There was a graph also of this, a position time graph. If this is a position time graph, Rayan was the one who was asking me about this. I hope it is this graph. This is the position time graph. So initially he moves 5 meters. If we have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, and so on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He moves 5 meters. Then he will come back. 3 meters he will come back. So he will come back 3 meters. It means 1, 2, 3. He will come back 3 meters. Then he will move 5 more, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Here. Then he will move up to here. Then he will come back. And then he will move 5 again. Then come back. 5 again. And then come back. and so on. The graph is inclined, right? Because time is always moving forward. This time, 5 again, 5 again. Equal times में नहीं है, the graph is not on scale. For that you will have to really use a graph paper. In the book it is on scale. So this thing shows that the position is decreasing. Look, I moved 5 meters, shown by this. Then I move back. The position is decreasing. This graph is just a representation of this motion, you know. Then 5 steps again forward. It means after this set, we have only, he has moved only 2 meters. 1, 2, 3 bars. Right? And such 4 sets are there. And then he moves 5 meters. So a graph is really a representation of a particle's motion. The position is increasing, then decreasing. It is this motion that is being represented on this graph. Okay. Boys and girls, okay, non-uniform motion. ग्राफ भी बाद में बनाते हैं. क्वेश्चन तो नहीं रह गया कोई? Oh yes, I have to do a couple of more questions. Okay, even before this, there was this question in which he says that the position is given by x is equal to a sin omega t plus theta. Remember, I gave you this question yesterday. This is position. He says after what time is the position maximum? The position is varying. Now, this is a sine function. The values of sine can vary from -1 to +1. It means the position is also changing. The maximum value for x will be when this value is equal to 1. For x maximum, a is the constant. Sine of omega t plus theta is maximum. It means sine of omega t plus theta is 1, for which omega t plus theta is 90 degrees or pi by 2. And omega t will be pi by 2 minus theta, or t will be pi by 2 omega minus theta by omega. Very, very interesting. Why once again emphasize, there is no formula which you will substitute. वो तो सिर्फ बेटे अगर आपको s इज इक्वल टू ut है, u दिया है, t दिया है, s निकालो, ये सवाल थोड़ी होता है. इसको तो सब्स्टिट्यूशन बोलते हैं, बच्चों का काम है. You need to think. We have to increase the level of your thought process, and it can only increase by doing such questions. Do not be afraid if you are unable to do it the first time. See, once you will be able to work out such questions, जो अगली बारी क्वेश्चन आएगा ना, आप उसके बारे में भी ध्यान से सोचोगे. That is what I am trying to build. Maybe I am going slow, but I am surely moving on. And the maximum value of displacement of x will be a, because it is for sine function is equal to 1. Right? Okay, another one. Another one that some students have asked me is that बहुत अच्छा सवाल था, that there are 2 particles which have equal and opposite velocities and they are a fixed distance apart. Just imagine 2 particles, equal and opposite velocities. It means speeds are the same and directions are opposite, and they are moving in such a way that they are at an equal distance all the time. This can only happen if the 2 particles are at the 2 ends of a diameter. This is A, this is B, इसकी speed भी V है, इसकी speed भी V है. And they are at a constant distance D. If they are moving with the same speed, just think. If they are moving with the same speed, the distance between them will always remain the same. Thus, the only possibility when two particles are moving with equal and opposite velocities and are separated by a fixed distance will be when the two particles are at the two ends of the diameter of a circle. He says, after how much time will they come back to their original positions? A will come back to original position when it completes one full circle. B comes back to original position when it completes one full circle. Thus the time after which they come back is the distance separated will be 2 pi r or pi d upon v. Please learn, I have to tell you this, that a numerical does not mean numbers. I do not know whether this is a numerical, it is simply a thought process. In physics, you are going to have questions which will be in variable form rather than in numbers. Good arithmetic थोड़ी check करनी है हमने आपकी. We want to increase the level of your thinking, and it will increase only by doing such questions. Boys and girls, now I think still, boys and girls, do not hesitate to ask me anything. I have formulated this discussion just by thought process, and some of you have been asking me, be sure that you finish the lecture by the morning and just put a query so that I can formulate it in the next lecture. I hope the lecture is working. Oh, we are 31 minutes into the lecture. Okay. Let me talk about non-uniform motion. Right? When I say non-uniform motion, it means the speed is not constant. The topic that I am doing is motion along a straight line, and I am discussing uniform speed. Acceleration अगले lesson में आएगी, but up to now I am discussing uniform speed. But then when a particle is in non-uniform motion, the speed is not constant. So लिखते हैं non-uniform motion. In uniform motion, the particle was covering equal distances in equal intervals of time. In non-uniform motion, the particle could cover unequal distances in equal intervals of time. When a particle covers unequal distances, and you must write it down in your registers, okay? Unequal distances in equal intervals of time, or vice versa, or equal distances in unequal intervals. Like I cover 10 meters in the first second, 12 meters in the next second, 8 meters in the next second. The speed is not the same. Covering unequal distances in equal intervals. Unequal distances in equal intervals. Or equal distances in unequal time intervals. पहले 2 सेकंड में कर लिए 5 मीटर, फिर अगले 5 मीटर 1 सेकंड में ही कर लिया, फिर अगले 5 मीटर हमने 10 सेकंड में किए, एंड सो ऑन. So for non-uniform motion, what do you think, children? That when you are moving from one place to another, the most obvious place we drive to is Chandigarh or Delhi, you know, I go to the hills. Anyway, what do you think? Is your motion uniform? When you are driving from Patiala to Chandigarh in a car or a bike, or say you are coming from your home to your school or to my center, no, the speed is not uniform. The speed is not uniform. Okay? If the speed is not uniform, unequal distances will be covered in equal intervals of time, and then the graph will not be a straight line, it will be curved. It will be curved. If more distances are covered, let's say the XT graph. What does such a graph represent? This represents that I am taking equal time intervals, right? And okay, this time interval, and I'm taking it to be quite large. Okay, I'll take a time interval here, and I will take a time interval here. Equal time intervals, huh? Very less distance covered. Greater distance covered. Here, for the same time interval, I can even show it to you for a larger time interval. It will be more clear. It will be more clear. XT. Let me take this time interval and then this time interval. This time interval and this time interval is the same. Scale बड़ा ले लिया मैंने. So in this time interval, the distance covered is only this. Whereas in this time interval, this distance covered is more. For the same next time interval, the distance covered would be even more. It means for unit, had the graph been a straight line, then for these equal time intervals, these are equal time intervals. This is also t, this is also t, and this is also t. समझो याद नहीं करना कुछ फिजिक्स में. For the same time interval, the distance covered is increasing. It means the speed of the particle is increasing, right? More distances are being covered. On the other hand, if your graph is like this, position time graph, and the graph is like this, the particle is moving along a straight line. Remember, then one is this time interval, one is this time interval, one is this time interval. They are all equal time intervals, right? T, T, and T. इसको भी ऐसे लिख लेते हैं. Then the first time interval, large distance is covered. In the second time interval, the distance covered is less, and in the third time interval, the distance covered is even less. Thus, over here, the particle is increasing speed, right? This is increasing speed. And this is decreasing speed. क्यों है ये increasing speed? As for same t, this is delta x1, this is delta x2, this is delta x3. Delta x3 is greater than delta x2 is greater than delta x1. Interpretation of physics में decreasing speed. Why? Because this is delta x1, delta x2, delta x3. Because delta x3 is less than delta x2 is less than delta x1. Very, very interesting. And suppose करो एक ग्राफ है तो वो ग्राफ ऐसे, इसका मतलब पहले स्पीड बढ़ रही थी फिर कम होने लगी. It's getting warmer, Tanish, it is getting warmer. Because you don't need to cram, you need to understand things, that what kind of motion. The particle is moving along a straight line. It is just a graphical representation showing that for the same time interval, the distance traveled, the change in position is more. If the graph is a straight line, अब समझ आ रही है बात. If the graph is a straight line, whether starting from here or starting from here, it doesn't matter. Let's take equal time intervals. These are the same for this time interval, for equal time intervals. Delta x1, delta x2, delta x3 are the same. So this is uniform motion. I've come back from where I started. Uniform speed. क्योंकि for same t, delta x1 is equal to delta x2 is equal to delta x3. This is what we mean when we say that equal distances are traveled in equal intervals of time. Motion is uniform. Unequal distances are being traveled in equal intervals of time. Here the distance traveled is going on increasing for the next equal interval. Distance बढ़ रहा है उतने टाइम में, स्पीड बढ़ रही है, कम हो रहा है, and so on. I know I'm taking a lot of time, but remember, the more you listen to this lecture, the more you will understand it. Okay, something. Okay, चलो कल बात करेंगे इस चीज की. चलो अभी कर लेंगे. Suppose position time graph. The graph is like this. What kind of motion does it represent? Note पा सकते हैं. बच्चे कहेंगे टॉपिक क्या नाम रखेंगे? नोट डाल सकते हैं. You know what does this mean? This is trying to tell us that at the same time there are so many positions. यार ऐसे कहां से हो गए? कोई हैरी पॉटर थोड़ी है. A particle cannot be at two positions at the same time, at the same instant. Over here he's trying to tell us that at the same time ये भी position है. So this graph is not possible. Such a motion is not possible. Had the graph been like this, body at rest, this is trying to tell us that the position is the same at various times. It means body is at rest. Very interesting. Okay, I'll ask you another one. Xt. This is the motion of the body. The particle is not moving like this. It is not a trajectory. The particle is moving along a straight line. Is it possible? जैसे अभी ग्राफ बनाया था, एक ऐसे. This graph shows. अब ग्राफ ऐसे, स्पीड इंक्रीजिंग है कि डिक्रीजिंग है? डिक्रीजिंग है. अभी तक तो याद ही है. और ये वाला, ये वापस आ रहा है. It means the particle can be at a given position at two times. देख लो, चेक कर लो. वैसे हो सकता है. रोज ही पंगा डाल लेता हूं. चलो दो स्टेटमेंट्स बोलते हैं, ट्रू और फॉल्स खेलते हैं. A particle can be at a given position at two times. क्यों नहीं हो सकता? मैं कल भी जहां था, आज भी जाऊं. आप कल भी घर में थे, आज भी घर में हो. यही बता रहे हैं कि इस टाइम पे at t equal to 0 it was here, As time passes, the position went on increasing. Do at a different rate. And then when he came back, yes, it is possible. This graph is possible. Possible. Okay, I've brought another one. T and X. Is it possible? No. Why? Because at this time, this graph is trying to tell us that the particle is at this position and at this position. Remember, वो तो time कर दिया मैंने. इधर position. This means that a particle cannot be at two positions at the same time. Cannot be at two positions at the same time. So not possible. Such a motion is not possible. A particle can never have two positions at the same time. A particle can never have two velocities at the same time. This graph is showing that a particle can be at the same position at two different times. Why not? Sometimes the lecture would seem a little heavier. I don't say heavier, I say enjoyable. I say enjoyable. Let me see how much time do we have. I wanted to do something called average speed and average velocity. Chalo. We end the lecture here today. I think we had a very interesting discussion. And hope some doubts would have been clear and some doubts would still be raised. But that is how the lecture is enjoyable. Please see that you are covering the lecture on time and do not lag behind in your work. The motto is enjoy your work, and there's so many of you out there who are enjoying themselves. Let more join the gang. Have a nice day.